Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, JuJu's Journey. In today's video, I'm going to set up my weekly cash wallet and stuff all of my envelope binders. I use a zero-based budget, meaning I have a fixed income of $3,000 once a month, and I take all of that $3,000 and I give every single penny a job. I've started this process in 2025 in January, and I was able to last year not only get 1 month ahead, but also stuff enough money to pay my car insurance for the year, my house taxes for the year, my house insurance for the year, subscriptions, vet bills, all of the things. And I don't think I could have survived last year without doing this process. My only regret is not starting it whenever I was younger. I'm a 57-year-old widow. My husband died December 11th, 2024. So last year I was in panic mode. He was drawing Social Security at the time of his death, so we lost that. So I'm just living on our retirement pension that we were receiving once a month. So that was a big adjustment in my monthly income, not only grieving your husband, but also trying to learn a new way of survival is very, very devastating. But I did it, and if I can do it, you can do it too. I'm going into 2026 feeling much better than I did, of course, in 2025. I'm more optimistic about my future, and I just know I'm going to be able to take care of myself. So with that being said, let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is kind of glance over my receipts that I'd spent this week. I've turned them in. I've downloaded. If you haven't done this, please download the Fetch app. I've seen a lot of people that I follow using the Fetch app, so I finally decided to do it and download it. And every receipt that I get, I scan it into my Fetch app, and it gives me points. Right now, I'm at 52,328 points. I don't spend a lot of money. Like, I really don't go out shopping, but I'm sure that you guys probably get more receipts on a weekly basis than I do. And every receipt that you scan, I think you automatically get 25 points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link to the Fetch Reward app in my description. And if you sign up using that app, you get bonus points, and I do too. And then once you sign up, you can share your link with people. And if they sign up, you get bonus points as well as them. So it's kind of like a win-win. So I will make sure I put that Fetch app in my description. So if it's something you're interested in, please, do that, use that link. It will help you tremendously. It also gives you points to use to redeem gift cards. I'm going to use mine for an Amazon card. But there's tons of places that you can redeem your points. So it's worth really just downloading it and taking a look at the app. And plus you can get bonus rewards if you purchase certain items. It's just really neat. Once you go around and start navigating, you'll see all the things that it has to offer. Okay, so my name is JuJu. This is JuJu's Journey. It's really my, it's a channel that I started to kind of make myself accountable and see how much I grow. Because, I was in the lowest point of my whole entire life. When you're with somebody from the time when you were 22 years of age, and then they pass away when you're 56, and then plus you raised a family with your spouse. It's a big adjustment, and it was unexpected. Like, it came a lot faster than we thought, So I know a lot of people go through grief. We all are going to have to go through grief. I mean, we're all going to do it. So if I can help anybody through my grieving journey on learning how to live again, this is what the focus is on this channel. And plus, it's just a way for me to document my process. But let's get started. I'm going to start with my cash wallet, and I'm going to clean it out. We had snow. Well, first of all, we had ice last weekend. And then this past weekend, we had snow. I live in South Carolina. We don't get much snow, maybe 1 to 2 inches at the most. We got 6 inches of snow. Schools were closed Monday and Tuesday. Today is Wednesday. I think today is Wednesday, February the 4th, so I'm kind of late doing this. But my car was parked in my garage since Friday. I just got it out for the first time today. And now today, the weather's great. I think it's in the 40s. It's been raining all day, so it's still a gloomy day, but it's okay. All of our snow's gone. Life is going to get back to normal. I binge watched a series that had 3 seasons. I had to start from the beginning, and each season had 10 episodes. So my daughter spent the weekend with me while her fiance had to work night shift, and we binge watched 90% of the series together. And then I finished up the series last night at 12 a.m. And so I'm good. I'm good on television watching for a while. So it's time to get back to reality. But it was good. It was a very entertaining series that I watched. It was called Dead to Me, I think is what it was called, or You're Dead to Me. But anyway, so in my cash wallet, I try to spend cash throughout the week. I try not to use my debit card at all. And so JuJu is me. I give myself a $50 allowance. And out of that $50, I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 16, 17, $18 left over. So I usually pull my cash and put that towards my savings challenges. Groceries, let's see how much I did not spend on groceries. I give myself $50 a week, and I have $30 left. Thank you to my daughter and my son-in-law, because I ate every meal at their house, except for chicken pot pie and Tostitos pizzas that I cooked for myself. Dining out, we did not dine out, so I've got $30 left over from dining out. So we're going to have a lot of money to put in our savings challenges this week. And lunch, I keep lunch money in my binder because it rolls over to, sometimes we do takeout. Yesterday we actually ordered DoorDash, so I do need to look on my app and see how much I spent and pull some money after I stuff it to pay myself back. Miscellaneous, I give $10 a week. I didn't have to use it this week, so I get to pull it. And the next thing I stuff in my cash wallet is giving, and I do not pull this money. I keep it at bay, and I'm going to let it accumulate. And then if I see somebody in the need or something in the need, then I'll have a little bit of a stash. Let's see if I have any coins. Oh, I do. I can't even put any more coins in my coin jar, so I definitely am going to have to roll those. And when I do, I'll let you know how much this one little, I don't even know what you would call it. Is it a half pint jar of coins? I mean, just, and what I have that won't fit is $1.50, 60, 70, 79 cents, $1.79. Now, if you had a $1 bill, you definitely would save it, so why not save your change? Because it accumulates just like dollars. Okay, so I've got my change out of the way. I'm going to stick my cash that I saved this week over to the side. And now let's get started. I think if you've watched my channel before, you know I do things a little bit differently. I I pull all of my $3,000 out at the beginning of the month and put it in what I call my bank binder. When I set up my budget, I did it really quick. I did kind of make a money discrepancy, but it will work out at the end of the month because, like I said, I give my whole $3,000 a job to do. So if I do have leftover money at the end of February, I can honestly take the money and put it where I think it's most needed. It's not a big deal. This is your journey. So if you make a few little mistakes like I did, that's the real deal. You will do that. The only reason I pull my whole $3,000 is because I am a month ahead. So I can pull the whole $3,000 because I have $3,000 that I leave in my checking account. That way I don't overdraft. I do have my bills that are paid through draft, but I have enough money set aside in my checking account to pay them. So the way I like to do it is I like to have a relationship with all of my cash. So that's the reason I pull all of it. Like I'll even pull the bills, stuff the envelopes of the bills that are going to be drafted. So I can say, okay, I paid that bill. I paid that bill. So that's just the way I like to do it. Y'all can, surely just leave that amount of money in your bank and pull once a week. I only get paid once a month, so I pull all of my money once a month. But I only stuff my envelopes once a week because I don't want to have to go unstuff my binders if an emergency arises and I don't need to stuff for the rest of the month. Let's say my hot water heater goes out or something of that. Anything minor that's going to set me back, I would much rather pull it from what I consider my bank binder. Okay, so let's get started and stuff my cash wallet. So JuJu, let me make sure I'm looking at you correctly. Okay, so can you see? So JuJu is going to get $50. I'll do 2 20s and a 10. And I really will spend some of this money this week because I do try to supplement. I usually try to, give money to them or go to the grocery store and buy things to help make meals next door. Although I am one person, so, they usually have, it's hard to cook and not have enough to feed one extra person. Dining out gets $30 a week. I don't know if I told you groceries, I only have to budget $50 a week, and I never really spend the whole $50. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Lunch gets $20 for me, and it gets $20 from each of my daughters. So each week lunch gets $60, and that's how we feed ourselves during the day. Miscellaneous gets 10. And that's only if I go overboard. Let's say lunch, I ended up spending $40 on lunch. No, not lunch. Let's do dining out. I can get miscellaneous money to help, it's just a buffer. I try not to use it, though. I try to stick to my budget. And giving gets $5 a week. I thought when I paid off my house in January, I was very blessed to finally get my house paid off, which, I am 57, almost 58. It was time for my house to be paid off. So that is a big accomplishment, but, it's not like I'm in my 40s and paid off my house by budgeting. It was just, I was able to finally pay off my house. I thought without that house payment that I was going to be so far ahead and be able to pull a lot more money. But I tell you, things happen. Like my insurance went up over $150. This month, my electric bill was up $150 over. So that's $300 right there. That's silly money. This month, I had to cut a lot of things. That's what messed me up, because usually when you sit down and you do your budget, you can kind of gear off of like I can look at January's budget, and if it worked, I can do the same thing the next month because I'm on a fixed income. And usually my bills stay pretty much the same, But I really had to tweak it for February for things to work out. And I cut a lot of things that I'm going to be stuffing for this whole month. And in doing so, I somehow came up with $200 extra. So some of those categories that I am not stuffing at the end of the month, I'll find out how much I'm truly over, and then we can go from there, okay? Just to let you know. So let's see which binder we're going to start off with. We've already done my cash wallet. I stuffed all my bills in my bank binder. So we're going to start with high priorities, okay? And I'm going to stick this to the side. I ordered this monthly budget planner off of Amazon, and I just do it to make it fit everything that I do. And I just hold on to it for the whole month and just let it kind of sit there so I can look and see what, to make my process easier. The most important thing you can do, and I have not done that, I'll do it once this video's over, is update your budget tracker sheets, because you will make a mistake and you want to always be able to go back to your ledger sheet and make sure you did everything just right, so you can figure out, oh my gosh, I stuffed the $50 in house insurance instead of house taxes. You'll figure it out by keeping good budget sheets, okay? But I'll do that off camera. That'll take a little bit too much time. Okay, so house taxes. Let's get to where I just have my cash. House taxes gets $25. So I'm going to pull a 20 and a 5. And let's pull and see how much money we have saved for. This is going to be due in December. And this past year, it was like $1,100. So once it gets fully funded, I'll just move that money and start stuffing another category. So we've got 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 105, 110, 115, 120, 125. So we have already successfully saved up $125 for my taxes. House insurance is going to get $50, which I'm sure if that one category gets fully funded, then it will go towards my house insurance. Will be the next category I'll stuff with that money, because my house insurance went up. This house insurance is for my house insurance that will be due next February 2027. I have already saved up last year for my house my house insurance that's due this month. So I've already got that just by doing this process last year. So we've got 50, 100, 150, 200, $250 just in the month of January and the first week of February. See how easy the money starts adding up, guys? Car taxes is going to get $20. So let's pull a 20. And see how much money we have saved towards car taxes. Of course, that's the same thing. This is for 2027. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So in 5 weeks, I've already saved up $100 for my car taxes for 2027. I've already got the money from doing this last year for my car taxes coming up in 2026. Okay, car insurance. Same difference. I've already got it saved for this year, so this is still one that I'm working on for 2027. Gets $40. So we've got 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, $200 saved for my car insurance for 2027. Isn't that exciting? Okay, tax prep. That's one I'm skipping this week, or this whole month. Amazon Prime is going to be skipped. I pay that once a year now. House maintenance is going to get $5. This is not for major house maintenance, y'all. This is for me trying to be a good steward and save up money to buy paint. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So we've got $25 for house maintenance. Car maintenance is going to get skipped because I have car maintenance saved from last year, and I do have a new car, so I should not really have any maintenance due. Emergency is going to get $5. So we've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 for emergency. And of course, hopefully that will build up. So if that hot water heater goes out, then I have emergency. Medical is going to receive $5. And this is like for copays or medicine that I may need. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm not one that really goes to the doctor much, but usually when I go, I'm usually sick. Savings is going to receive $5. I did zero out my whole entire envelope system to start for 2026. I'm probably not going to zero out my balance because I do have money in a high yield savings account. And I probably really do need to know exactly how much I have in each category. But right now for savings for 2026, we've saved up 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. You know, I do want to be 6 to 9 months ahead. And right now I'm only 1 month ahead. And I am not going to stuff month ahead this month. But we can see how much I've got saved. It should be 20, 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, so we've got personal care that I'm going to give $5 to. And this is for shampoo, conditioner, razors, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, things of that nature. And I usually buy my stuff at Sam's in bulk, so it usually, when I do buy it, it lasts for a long time. Okay, pets and vet is only going to get $5. I am going to have to amp this up. I'm just starting out. I'm going to try to stuff $5 a week until I get ahead on some of these other categories. So we've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I did save a good amount last year, which is covering my vet bills for, you know, so far for this year. So we're done stuffing this binder. I consider that my high priority. And then my next binder will be this one. This is, I would say, low priority. And let's see what we're going to do. Clothes is going to be skipped this week. And let me tell you why I'm skipping these categories. It's all because of my electric bill, guys. $150 more. It's horrible. Entertainment, I'm still going to give $5. And I think I should have $25 saved. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. If you haven't watched one of my videos before, entertainment to me is like if I go to the movies with someone, or if I'm invited to a cookout, I might want to grab a bottle of wine or something to help cook, or hors d'oeuvres, something like that. Okay, vacation is going to receive 20. And I really need to up this one, but I can't afford it right now. I'm going to have to pull money from somewhere else, I'm sure. Because I've got a big, I know I'm going to need $530 and plus food money So it's probably going to be about $600 I'm going to need March 14th for that weekend. So we've got 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 towards vacation. Gifts. Let's see if I'm not stuffing gifts. I had to cut that for electricity. Wish list is going to get cut all because of that electricity bill. Lawn and garden is cut. Wedding is going to get 15. That's who's going to get married when I go on that little trip. My daughter. And everybody knows in my family that I'm broke. So, she'll appreciate anything I give her. So far I've got 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 200, 210, 220, 225. $225. Of course, I'm just going to give her the cash and let her do with how she pleases. Adventure is going to receive 10. Adventure to me, I'm sure you're thinking, gosh, that sounds a lot like vacation and entertainment. But adventure to me is like I would love to go on a train ride. I've never been on a train. And I've heard people going on a train ride like 2 towns over and eating lunch and then coming back on the night train. And they spend the whole day in that little town. I think that would be amazing. So that's like an adventure to me. So I'm trying to save up money in order to do an adventure. Just like when my friend and I did that Conway Halloween 5K. The whole town was decked out and it was beautiful. We had lunch. But that whole day cost me, just to go walk in a 5K and eat lunch, cost me over $100. So you need to stuff it. You've got to save for those things. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. So I've got saved up at least if I want to go do another little day trip for a 5K. Okay, Easter is going to receive 5. And let's see how much we've got for Easter so far. We've got 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. That's for me. I didn't do these categories last year, Easter, Thanksgiving, or Christmas. And I should have, because when they hit last year, I didn't have any money saved to go buy little Easter surprises for the kids' Easter baskets, or if I wanted to help supply food for the meal. I didn't have any extra money for those categories. Thanksgiving, I had to figure out where I was going to pull the money from for Thanksgiving and Christmas meal. So it's really worth it to think about all the things that come up. And you'll figure that out the longer you do this process. Like I didn't know this last year. So, of course, this year now I have that category. But you'll find the categories that work for your life once you start this process. So I've got Easter that I stuffed. I'm skipping Thanksgiving. I'm skipping Christmas. Christmas child, I have not started stuffing yet. We're going to adopt some children again next year. Fire department, I'd like to donate some money to them because they adopt over 100 kids for Christmas. And I would like to start putting in some money for monthly giving. But right now, I don't have the extra money. But I did stuff the $5 in my cash wallet. That's basically all I can do right this moment. And now I'm going to stuff my favorite. My favorite binder. Oh, hold on. Let me make sure I'm still videoing. Okay, this is my binder with all of my children. I have 5 grandchildren, I have 5 children, and I have 5, all of my children have significant others. And so there's 10 envelopes in this binder, and I give each of them $5 a week. So I'm just going to pull some 5s to make it a little bit easier. So we're going to put 5. Let's see how many this little fella's got. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So all of them should have $25. And I'll double check whenever I update my budget trackers. So I'm just going to stuff. And I went from youngest to oldest. I've only got 1 granddaughter. The rest are grandsons. And then in children, there's 4 girls and 1 boy, so it's the opposite. It's kind of neat. Okay, now this is my future son-in-law and my daughter. So they only get $5 together. And all of my grandchildren live here in my hometown except for 1. And he shares a birthday with my daughter, my grandson, the one that lives away. So I actually need to, send them their birthday money. This is what I saved up last year. They each get $100 for their birthday. So when I get off here, I am going to get their envelopes ready. He's 8 years old, so he's in the cash now. So all of my binders are now completely stuffed for the first week of February. And if you can see, I've got this is where I keep my extra cash that I would be stuffing these binders with, the 5s, 10s, 20s, and 50s. And then I have 100s, which I don't have any 100s in there. And then I have some overflow money. So, like I said, if an emergency came up before I went to my high yield savings account and pulled money from there, or before I went and started unstuffing my binders, you know, like for the savings categories, things like that. Of course, you would pull the ones that are meant more for this type of stuff first. I would start just pulling this cash. And then I just wouldn't stuff my envelopes for the rest of the month. I'd put everything on halt and start back over in March. To me, that's just a more common sense method. So therefore, I stuff once a week just in case. You know, it's kind of like planning for your future. You've got to also plan for if things happen, you know. So that's just the way I do it. And now, let's go to the savings challenge. I can honestly tell you guys that since I've started doing these savings challenges, this is really not a realistic point of view. It's just that we've had really crappy weather. And like I said, when I went to the beach for the weekend, I did not use any money in my cash wallet, you know. So that's that. Okay, so I always pull my ones and try not to spend them ever throughout the week. If I get a 1 back, I usually stick it in a different location in my wallet, and I try not to spend them because I usually try to save my 1s. So let's see how many 1s we saved this week. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's mark off 8 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we've only got 3 more 1s, and this savings challenge will be completed. And it says, after I do this page, it's going to be that I've saved $60. Well, you know, I keep saying I've got to find money to help fund that vacation for my daughter's wedding. I may have to use the savings challenge money. I really like to put this towards one of my sinking funds, but my daughter's wedding is very important, so it may have to go to that, just so I don't mess up my rhythm on any other category. I don't really want to have to pull from anywhere else. So I think this might be my best solution, considering I'm actually saving money. So this one's a $5 challenge, but what I'm doing is not just saving my fives. I'm just taking my leftover cash, counting it, and just marking it off by fives. So we've got 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75, and $80. So we've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, and 80. So we're over halfway there. And once I fill up this sheet, I would have saved $300. So, you know, I do, just by not spending money throughout the week, I am going to probably be able to not pull from any category to go spend that money on that hotel room. Very nice hotel. I'm not complaining at all, but it is expensive for one night. So it's 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 100. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85. So we've saved up $185 since January 1st by not spending all of the money in my cash wallet. So that's an incentive of still budgeting while you have already given yourself permission to spend. So it's like you have a relationship with your money, and when you have to let it go by spending your cash, you're going to think twice before you spend. And I think it's wonderful. I wish I had started this process a long time ago. But in my description, I'm going to put my Ally, is a link to the Ally Bank. That's a high yield savings account. I saw many YouTubers who do this. That's where they put their money, and I started in June. I only have right at $5,000. I think it's $5,000. I'll have to double check. But I'm making, like last month, I made $13 in interest. I do not do that at my local bank. And it's so easy to set up. It's so easy to link your own checking account if you want to transfer money. And then if you want to transfer money from your savings account back to your home bank, very easy peasy. Like I said, I'm 57 years old. If I can do it, you can do it, because I'm very computer illiterate. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to put a link to Fetch, to Ally, a lot of things in my description. Please hit that thumbs up button, and please subscribe. I think I'm at 37 subscribers. I really want to get to 50. That's my first goal that I've set for myself. I will be one happy camper when it hits 50. But anyway, leave me a message. I'd love to hear from you. Y'all have a great day. God bless you. And we'll talk to you later. Bye. If I can hang up or get off.